begin with a prayer. You can chant after me. Yontaf pravishya mama vacham imam prasuptam sanjeevayathyakhila shaktidharasvadhamna अन्यान् स्वहस्तचरण श्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् दिक्कालाद्यनवच्छिन्न अनन्तचिन्मात्रमूर्तये स्वानुभूत्येकमानाय नमः शान्ताय तेजसे स्वानुभूतेकमानाय नमः शान्ताय तेजसे. With this prayer, may the Lord bless us with a fruitful session of meditation. Everything else can wait. If there is anything that comes up in my mind, I will look into them after this meditation. Sthira Sukham Asanam. I sit in a posture in which I am likely to be comfortable for the duration of the meditation. Few things about the posture. Head, neck and trunk as far as possible in one straight line. Position of the head, not looking left or right or up or down, just held in a way as though you're looking ahead. Hands on the lap, fingers gently clasping each other, thumbs touching each other. Smile on the face. Like Dakshinamurti. Eyes, closing of the eyes is suggested to be done deliberately. You open your eyes, bring down the upper eyelids, fully extended with no wrinkles. Volume a little low, please. To gently touch the lower. Visualize the statue of the Buddha. How a sculptor brings out the peacefulness in the face of the Buddha. You will notice that the upper eyelids are wrinkle-free and gently touching the lower. You do the same deliberately. Open your eyes. Bring down the upper eyelids to gently touch the lower. Pujya Swamiji used to mention that this one step can make a big difference to someone's ability to meditate. No pressure on the eyeballs. Smile on the face. Smitananam, Smirananam. A smile on the face, if you have, you try invoking anger or irritation with a smile on the face. You see it doesn't happen. Makes a difference. Hands are held loosely, no tension. Next step is for me to be myself. I don't want to do anything with the world. The world is out there, but it's also in here in my mind because there is something about it which I want to be different. There is some demand, some agenda that I have for my world. My little world of the few people and few things I connect with. I now visualize these people and one by one unload them by granting them the freedom to be in their own space. I let them be what they are. I have the freedom to act, to try to bring about a change. I definitely enjoy the freedom to pray for that person to change and for me to be able to accept what is. Acceptance is just dropping an unnecessary resentment, a resistance to a fact. This is how this person is in my perception. My perception is never total. Do I even know myself completely? Do I know what happened to me in my childhood? In my infancy? Why? But all these have a bearing on my behavior today. The core personality is formed even before I'm 5. How would I know what happened to me at that time? But all that makes me who I am. If I don't know myself well enough, what to speak of others? What I know is very little. My perception is incomplete, maybe wrong, maybe partly wrong. So I'm objective when I say this is how a person is in my perception, implying I'm willing to revise my view with better knowledge. Moreover, everyone is the way they are because they cannot be any different given their past, given their background. The connection, the invariable relationship between the background and behavior is Ishvara, studied as the science of psychology. I am not to blame the way I feel. Even that is part of the order. Having unloaded the external world, I look to see if my own past is holding me. Does the past hold me, or do I hold the past? Resistance to the past, regrets for the past, blaming the past, blaming people for what's happened in the past is all ways of holding on to my own past. Until I hold them, they occupy my mind, preventing me from doing what needs to be done. If somebody else is holding me, I can try to free myself. If I am holding myself, resisting myself, and if my pragmatism, my understanding, my values, my attempts, if none of these have succeeded in letting me let go my past, what can I do? I need to understand my helplessness. In the recognition of helplessness, in my inability to order the world, order my life, order situations to my comfort, and in the recognition of the presence of all knowledge, all Shakti Ishvara, a devotee is invoked. My helplessness is not enough to make me a devotee. The acknowledgement of my helplessness is what makes the difference. The submission of my helplessness at the feet of the Lord can bring about the necessary conversion to let me drop my own past. If I have a past which holds me, I place myself at the mercy of the Lord. I surrender the prayer to help me let go my own past. May I not blame the past. May I not blame anybody else for what happened. May I not blame even myself for what happened. Blaming means holding on to it. I want to let go. Let bygones be bygones. O Lord, help me to move on by letting go what cannot be changed. If someone I feel has caused me hurt, I pray for them too. So I bear no grudge against anybody. This is my own karma phala, which has fructified at this time. If I can let go my past, then I can let go my anxiety for the future. Whatever has to come will come. O Lord, give me the ability to accept my past, to stay in the present without anxiety for the future. Give me the ability to change what I can and need to respond to situations dynamically, realistically, objectively. I let Ishvara be. I let the world be, in other words, because what is Ishvara. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. Now, I'm objective to the world, means I have no demands from the world. I don't want it to change in any way whatsoever. I'm just aware. Attention is now shifted to this physical body. Being aware of each part. I can just be aware of the head as head, face as face, or I can go one step further. This is what we do in many of our prayers, like in the Rudram. Prajanane Brahma Tishtatu. In the organ of generation, I recognize the presence of the Creator, Brahma, blessing it. Padayor Vishnustishtatu. Pada is the feet. I am objective to my whole feet, my leg, starting from thighs all the way to the feet, and recognize the presence of the Lord in my pada, blessing it so that it can stand. It can support the weight of the body. It is given. I appreciate not just the legs, I appreciate the legs as a manifestation of Vishnu. Padayor Vishnustishtatu. In my hands, Hastayor Harastishtatu. I recognize the presence of Ishvara as Hara. Bahvor Indrastishtatu. In my arms, the source of strength is Ishvara, blessing it as Indra. When I look at the arms, when I look at Ishvara, through the strength in the arms, I call Ishvara Indra. Jathare Agnistishtatu. In the stomach, the digestive fire is so important, without which no food gets assimilated. I don't just recognize acid and pancreas and liver. I recognize Ishvara as Agni, the digestive fire. Jathare Agnistishtatu. In the heart, Hridaye Shivastishtatu. I recognize the presence of Shiva, Mangala, pumping blood all the way to the body, to every cell, to every corner in the body. One pump working non-stop, ceaselessly from the time this body is born. What a blessing. The blessing is not the physical organ. The blessing is what makes the physical organ work. Hridaye Shivastishtatu. In my neck, the voice box. Kanthe Vasavastishtantu. My speech is blessed. I can speak. I can utter words. I can communicate. Blessed by Ishvara as Saraswati. Vaktre Saraswati Tishtatu. the nose through which I gain smell, sense of smell. Possible because I draw in air through the nostrils. Nasikayor vayustishtatu. I see the presence of Ishvara's Vayu Devata in my nostrils. Nayanayosh Chandradityau Tishthetam. I recognize the blessing of Ishvara in the form of these eyes, manifest as Aditya Devata, Chandra Devata. Karnayo Rashvinau Tishthetam. In the ears, I recognize the presence of Ishvara in the form of Ashvini Devata, the twin Devatas. Murdhyadityas Tishtantu. Shirasi Mahadevas Tishtatu. Recognizing the presence of Ishvara in the cerebrum, in the head region behind. Prishthe Pinaki Tishtatu. In the back, I recognize the presence of Shiva as Pinaki, protecting me from the back with his Pinaka bow. Parshvayoho Shiva Shankarau Tishthetam. On both sides, as I'm objective to the two sides of the body, it's not just two sides of the body, it is Ishvara blessing it as Shiva and Shankara. Sarvato Vayustishtatu. Everywhere he is present as the air which I can breathe. Sarvato Gnirjvala Mala Parivritastishtatu. Sarveshvangeshu Sarva Devata Yathasthanam Tishtantu. Mam Rakshantu. May all these devatas reside, protect, and bless this whole body. Where is the body? There's only Ishvara. See the difference. This body, which I call me or mine, is nothing but the manifestation of the knowledge of Ishvara in every cell, in every gland, in every vein, in every nerve, in every neuron. Not recognizing this, how can I be objective? If I just see a body, I am objective, but I am not totally objective. I am totally objective when I recognize the presence of Ishvara blessing every single cell in the body, every single function in the body. If some part of the body is dysfunctional, that is the order of Ishvara. I say Namaha. I can pray for it to be functional, but even when it doesn't function, it is Ishvara Anugraha. Now, I'm objective, very objective to this body. Shift the attention now to the mind with which I'm observing this body and senses. Senses we have covered partly as the body. We now shift the attention to the mind. I drop all attempts to control the mind. It's useless. The word control doesn't serve me. Ishvara alone is the controller, karma phala data. I can only make an attempt with my will. I cannot ordain or command any outcome. If I could, my life would be different. I would be happy all the time. Why would I not? I recognize this and I'm just aware of the mind, its ways, its proclivities, its capacities, its incapacities, its ability to recall, its inability to recall, its ability to think, inability to think quickly, the possibility of it being overwhelmed by an emotion. All this is possibilities in this intelligently put together antahkaranam. As I say, intelligently put together, my mind will naturally go to the conscious being, Ishvara, all knowledge, who appears as the mind, its functions, manaha, buddhihi, chittam, ahankara. Ahankara is also Ishvara's vibhuti, not something that I have to get rid of, but something that I have to Ishvarize. I let Ishvara be. Where am I? If Ahankara is also Ishvara, where am I? But yet, Ishvara allows me to have an individual will, a freedom to choose my actions, to choose my thoughts, which I choose voluntarily. That is the glory of Ishvara. And all this is Ishvara, he allows me to claim an individuality. That's the glory of Ishvara. I now stop even looking at the mind. I just remain being what I am. No demands, no expectations, no regrets. Nothing that I want to be different right now. There is nothing to be gained, nothing to be given up to be myself. I am aheya anupadeya, not to be given up, not to be acquired. I am. Do I depend on anything else to be? To see, I depend on the eyes. To taste, I depend on the tongue and objects of taste. To hear, I depend on ears, objects of hearing, sounds, the capacity to hear. To just be myself, what do I need? My will remains suspended. I have no use for my will. Without willing, without doing, am I comfortable? Free will means I choose when to use my will, like any instrument which I can use when I wish to. Now I choose to use the will to help me know Ishvara, recognize Ishvara. O Lord, I want to offer a prayer for no other reason except to gain the grace to understand you as you are. If you have any other prayer, you can make a sankalpa. Nothing wrong with asking Ishvara for anything. My prayer as an individual is I want nothing but Ishvara. Why should I ask for less when I can get the whole? With this sankalpa, I now make a prayer mentally. Chant your mantra mentally. Before you chant, visualize an altar of your choice, offer a flower, do a namaskaram, and then I start chanting mentally. Om. Name of the Lord is Om, plus an extra name, a glory. Om Ishaya Namaha. Namaha means I let go any resistance. I let Ishvara be. Om Ishaya Namaha. Whatever your mantra is, be aware of the interval between the chants. If the mind moves away without judging, without blaming yourself, bring the mind back gently to the chant. That's how the mind is. We are doing abhyasa. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. We are training the mind to be where we want it to be. Chant. No association with breath or voice. Each chant is complete in itself, no connection to the next chant. It's the same chant. The chant is with bhavana, that prayerfulness, not a mechanical chanting. Chant. chant. If there are any sounds, it doesn't matter. If I chant mentally, disturbance is lesser because I'm chanting from the mind. You keep chanting. He Govind. He Govind. You keep chanting. You allow the sounds to be heard. He Govind. Your mind is on the chant. He Govind. He Govind. He Govind. Chant. Now stop chanting. I had only one vocation, one thing to do, which was to chant, which was to have a thought of my mantra. When I dropped that one occupation of the mind, I am just myself with absolutely nothing to do, not even the expectation of what's next. That's being myself. If a thought comes, I don't go along with it. I let the thought come and go. As words are heard, their meanings are known to you without any effort, just being yourself, conscious, awareful presence. Ishavasya midagnu sarvam yatkincha jagatyan jagat. This whole universe is to be understood as Ishvara. How do I appreciate Ishvara? As all knowledge, conscious being with all knowledge. How do I appreciate it further? All knowledge means predictability, order. One Maha order, which can be understood by looking at it through so many sub-orders. This physical world, the stars, the planets, the satellites, air, fire, water, they all follow the law of physics. The physical order. The study of the physical order is the study of physics. When I study physics, I'm uncovering Ishvara. When I study mathematics, I'm uncovering one more aspect of Ishvara. This physical body is subject to the order of Ishvara, physical order. That I can sit, that I'm not floating, is order. That there is gravity is order. If I know gravity as just a force, that is objective. But if I know gravity as a force, as a manifestation of knowledge of Ishvara, I am totally objective. Is this body which I call mine, which is really given, what is its distance from the physical order of Ishvara? What is the distance between the physical order and Ishvara? Is there a difference? Is there a distance? What's the distance between you and your knowledge? Is there a distance? Knowledge is the knowledge, not you. Is it other than you? Physical order. This life, the blood gets pumped by the heart. The glands pour their juices. Digestion takes place. Circulation takes place. Evacuation, cleanup takes place. Assimilation of food takes place. How? Every cell, every nephron in the kidney is so complicated, intelligently put together. Intelligence which neither I nor my mother have. Yet each nephron does its job. A nephrologist is only trying to uncover what is, uncover Ishvara. What's the distance between Ishvara and the physiological order, knowledge of Ishvara's physiological order? What's the distance between the physiological order and the body functions that you claim as yours? Prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. Physiological order. Then there is this mind with its ups and downs, its emotions, its hang-ups, its judgments, its ability to think, to decide, to forget, to recall. Mattaha smritihi jnanam apohanancha. The ability to know, that is also order. That's the epistemological order. The emotions, the background and behavior connection, psychological order. One more expression of Ishvara. And one more very important order, the order of dharma, along with the order of karma. That my actions have a result, drishta and adrishta, is governed by what? By Ishvara manifesting as the law of dharma and karma. Where am I? There is only Ishvara. The whole physical world is the physical order. The whole world of living beings is covered by the biological order, which includes physiology, psychology, parapsychology, name it. Eyes see. I see in a human being, I see in a rat, I see in a cat, I see in a tiger. What makes the eyes the eyes? The cones, the rods that help you see color. What makes it possible? What makes the correction of faulty sight possible? Knowledge. All knowledge is Ishvara. Are you ever away from Ishvara? Hey Govind. This is Ishvarizing. Seeing everything here as Ishvara. Hey Govind. Govinda means one who is known by the words of the Veda, one who is known through the words of Ishvara. Hey Govind, Hey Govind, Hey Govind, Hey Govind. Hey Govind, 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 Hey Govind. What is Ishvara. Tasmai Namaha. Ishaya Namaha. Om. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.